So you want to learn languages fast. Welcome to the Link Space. My name is Anna. I've learned German from 0 to C1 in just 10 months. That is one of the 5 languages I speak. And in this video, I will tell you exactly the strategy that I used so you can also learn languages fast. Let's get into it. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake that I made so you do not repeat it. The way I was learning languages, and the way most people learn languages, is you go to your class, which is about 80% of your learning, and you learn their grammar and new words, mostly. And then the rest 20% you spend on your homework. And then you wonder, why after so many years of studying, I'm still not fluent? Because fluent is when you understand other people and other people understand you. So you need to practice listening and speaking. And in your class, you don't really do that. I started making so much progress when I started dedicating about 40% of my time to the class. Then I spent about 30% on listening, 20% on speaking, and the rest 10% on other things such as reading and writing. Why so much time listening? Why not reading? This is what worked for me because my goal was to understand people and be able to speak. If you want to write work emails or your goal is to understand professional or academic literature, you will have to dedicate more time toward reading and writing. So again, really depends on the person. But the point is, you have to do things outside of class. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to practice listening, essentially. Now, I can already hear you say, yes, Anna, we have listening exercises in class once a week. But first of all, that is not enough. And second, your listening exercises are slow and they also use very simple words. And then once you get into the real world, all of a sudden, people speak faster and use more difficult vocabulary. So of course, you do not understand anything. Okay, very cool, we got the problem, but how do I practice listening if I do not understand anything? Let me tell you this. The first 2 weeks I was learning German, and actually the same with Chinese. I did not understand anything, not a single word, nothing. I would just turn on a random podcast that I found online and go for a walk to a park. And then maybe after 2 weeks or so, I started picking up some random words. I was like, oh cool, here they said Freundschaft, that means friendship, so they're probably talking about friendship. And I think only after 6 months or so, I started getting 60% of what is being said. Now, if you think of it, 60% is about intermediate already. And in your class, during the same amount of time, you would still be learning about clocks, time, and maybe elephants. So that is your shortcut. And for speaking, it is also very important that you start speaking as early as you can. Of course, in the beginning, you're not going to be able to say anything, but if you start speaking even with phrases like, hello, my name is Anna, I'm a student, cool. You're going to get used to your own voice, how you pronounce sentences, the way you structure sentences, and then the more words you learn, the more you practice, the better your sentences will be. And you're also going to get comfortable speaking in the language, because I remember the first time I started speaking German, I was so uncomfortable with my own pronunciation. I knew that the way I was pronouncing things was not even close to the way native speakers would say it. And so I got really embarrassed. I would blush the whole time, but I still kept practicing. And that's what really helped me to get comfortable with my own speaking. And again, I would just go to a park, make some recordings, say some basic phrases in the beginning, and then later describe what I saw or how my day went. The best part about this is once you get comfortable speaking to yourself, it's going to be so much easier for you to talk to other people because your brain will get used to the language, the way you pronounce things, the way you build sentences, the order in which you use the words. And once you have to talk to other people, even if you get a little stressed or uncomfortable, your brain will just automatically produce the sentences because it already did it so many times. All right, that is essentially my strategy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe because there is so much more coming up. I will also kindly invite you to check out the Link Space on Instagram because there's a lot more cool content there. And I would also love to know what your favorite language learning strategy is. So please feel free to share it in the comments and I'll make sure I respond to each one of you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.